prayers in our own ways. May God accept all our prayers. Good afternoon and welcome to Football House in this unveiling and press conference session convened by the national team coach, Tom Sainfiet, regarding the Gambia's double engagement in the AFCON qualifiers where the Scorpions resumed their series against Togo, home and away. The coach has convened this meeting to unveil to the Gambians through the media the list of invited players for the Gambian national team, Scorpions, both home and away, and his level of preparedness as far as that encounter is concerned. Without much ado, just allow me to say that the coach is backed by his technical staff. Motar Mboj, one of his assistants. Alaji Marong is the goalkeeper trainer. Ibrahim Hassan is also one of the coaching members of staff. Mustafa Kasama at the back is the equipment manager. Khalifa Mane is the team doctor. Pamatar Ndau is the physiotherapist. Lamin Jamme is also a part of the support staff. And of course our senior and brother Alaji Saar is also part of the technical staff. My colleagues, Babukar Kamara, head of human resources manager, Ibrahim Alaji Nyasi, youth and grassroots coordinator, Seni Sisoho, women's football coordinator, and head coach himself, Tom Sainfiet, the Saint. You are all welcome once again. Tom, we give you hand over the baton to you for all your dispositions now.
Now it's good afternoon. A few minutes ago it was still good morning. So welcome everyone. It's nice to see you here. I would like to inform you about the squad we selected for the doubleheader against Togo. After our decent game against Algeria with a good result, we are looking forward to play against Les Éperviers from Togo, and hopefully we can also get some good performance and a decent result there. We're going to fly with 20 people to Togo. When we return, we have for now selected already 21 players, so one player come only for the return match. It's possible that after Friday, the 12th of October, we have to decide to call up some other players, because in Togo we can get a second yellow card. That means that players could be banned for the return match, or we could get injuries. Problem is, you can't plan it in advance. You don't know who will be injured, who will be having a red card, or what will happen there. So we cannot select a whole reserve squad in advance, but we have a group on standby ready to come. I'm going to announce the squad. After that, you can ask me some questions about the squad, and you can ask me also questions about the match against Togo, about them and about us. Okay? Like I said, we have for now 21 players. The first 20 names who I will mention, they will go to Togo. We will start on Monday, the 8th of October. We come together here in the Gambia. And Tuesday the 9th, early in the morning, we fly straight to Togo. We go to Togo early because we play there on an artificial turf. We don't play in their main national stadium. We play in an old stadium, on an old turf pitch. And according to FIFA and CAF rules, we are allowed to train twice in the stadium instead only one time. So we're going to train there Wednesday and Thursday on the artificial turf to get used to it. We fly from here. After the game on Saturday we return, and we will arrive here around 6 o'clock in the evening to prepare our return match on Tuesday. We will play at 4:30, 16th of October, here against Togo. For the media, maybe before I announce the squad, the Sunday session here will be behind closed doors, because maybe we will train some tactics, but the Monday session will be open for fans and for media for sure. Okay? But now the squad we have selected. We have selected 2 goalkeepers, Modou Diop from Al Kanemi Warriors in Nigeria and Babukar Gai from Arminia Bielefeld in Germany. You get later the list, but now I announce it. And Jin Fai Njai from Gamtel, Simon Richter from Bronsøy, Daudan Gam from Bronsøy, Boubacar Sane from Anderlecht, Mamadou Fouti Danzo from UITM in Malaysia, Pamoudou Jang from FC Zurich, Suleiman Mare from Eupen in Belgium, Ibrahima Sona from Kesla in Azerbaijan, Youssoufa Bob from Cuneo in Italy, Ibrahima Adams from Ipswich United in England, Ablai Diallo from FC Metz in France, Mustafa Carayol from Apollon Limassol in Cyprus, Lamine Diallo from Salernitana in Italy, Adami Jame from Étoile du Sahel, in Tunisia, Hassan Cissé from FC Zurich in Switzerland, Moussa Barrow from Atalanta Bergamo in Italy, Ali Soe from CSKA Sofia in Bulgaria, Mohamed Badamossi from FUS Rabat in Morocco. These are the 20 who will go to Togo. And number 21 is Mohamed Mbai from Mjällby in Sweden. So these are the 21 who are called up for now. Any questions about the selection or about the coming matches or opponent? Feel free.
Thank you, Coach. While we distribute the team list, anybody who has a question, sir, you can pass the question. You have a comment, you have a query, you have a doubt.
Can be about selection, can be about the opponent by the game, because maybe we have no opportunity anymore to talk before our game starts.
Yes, Coach. My name is Paharo from the school training. I have a question regarding the team selection. Yesterday, the captain is out. The then captain of our colleague is out of the squad. Mobaro of Reading is also out of the squad. We have Steve Powell is still out of the squad. Facing Algeria, you talked about the players. We all understand most of them is because of the family reason, and still you explain the reason why you excluded from the Algerian squad. What is the reason behind excluding these 2 players getting into the squad as far as the Togo class is concerned?
That's a good question. I expected the question. First of all, I have to say Hamza Barry, he announced to me in September that he was not available for the coming games.
Who is that?
Hamza Barry. So he's not available for these matches and also for the match against Benin. That's what he told me in September. For the other people, it's not a selection against them, it's a selection for the people we choose. I think the team who was selected for the Algeria game, who finally came to the game, because I have to say some people were selected but couldn't come because of private reasons. But the people who were there, we have to be honest and say that first of all they were very motivated and very disciplined the whole camp. But also on the pitch, they showed that they were very committed, very disciplined, and ready to die for their country. They were playing according to plan. They were doing everything what was requested, and they were playing with their heart. I think it would be unfair as a coach, as a coaching team, not to recognize that, not to respect that, and to drop people who showed me as new coach, but who showed us as Gambian football lovers that they are ready to fight and die for the country. So the selection is not against people who are not here, because exactly there are a few people not here and there are many people not here, but it's more a pro-selection for the people who are invited because what they have proven against Algeria.
A follow-up.
Is it a follow-up question?
Yeah, a follow-up question. I'm not talking about the players that were invited here and then that take part in versus Algeria game. We see new faces that are included this time around. Why going into a lower league and dropping the players that are playing in the highest league and playing week in, week out for that matter?
About who would you talk about?
Yeah, you were invited the players that are playing in the lower league than
Which player is?
like the like of Yusuf Bob, the like of Mohamed Muzik, who is playing in Morocco.
Okay. Yusufa Bob, which player I left out who can play on the position of Mustafa Bob? Yusufa Bob.
You left the Steve.
Who? Yusufa Bob is does play on which position?
No, I can answer.
No, but Yusufa Bob is a. No. If you ask a question, you tell you. No. But you.
I just wanted to be clear here.
Okay, wait. Okay, Yusufa Bob, you don't know him. Or what? Is he a striker? Is he a striker? Is he a striker? Yeah.
Don't ask me question, coach.
No, but if you say I don't. No, wait. I'm talking. If you say you invite Yusufa Bob instead of Steve,
no, not.
That's what you just said. That were your words.
Like I'm just giving you an example. Like you drop you don't call Modubaro, you don't call Steve, and you don't call.
Okay, Modubaro is a winger.
Yes.
Steve is a striker.
Yes.
Omar Colley is a central defender. Yusufa Bob is a controlling midfield player. So none of these three, if I need a controlling midfield player, I cannot invite an extra goalkeeper or a striker or that. So that's not the discussion. Yusufa Bob is a controlling midfield player. So the discussion, the name Yusufa Bob mentioning in this discussion is useless because he is not Badamossi.
Okay, yes.
Badamossi. What is the difference between Badamossi and Steve?
Badamossi is a striker.
Yes, and what is the difference between both are strikers?
Yes.
What is the difference between both?
You are the one inviting them. I'm asking.
What is the difference? Steve is 1.78 meters tall and Badamossi is 1.96 meters tall. So it's a total different striker for a total different situation in a game. In football, you select people for the way you want to play or the way you could possibly play depending on the result. Imagine Togo score 1-0. What type of striker do we need? So you can't compare two total different players, even if they are both called striker. You're right, they are both strikers. But they have different qualities, different physical structure, different abilities. That doesn't mean that Steve is not a very good striker who scored 11 goals in the last year. I know that. And Badamossi is playing in Morocco and didn't score. But it's a total different type of striker. It's a target man who is tall, who you can play high balls, and the other guy is a shorter guy with speed around the box. So you can't compare the quality of one player and the other. If they were exactly the same quality, you could compare.
I'm not comparing. The reason why I asked the last time I asked you.
Excuse me. Please excuse me. Okay. I just want to say that when we make our points, let us relax and allow the court to make clarifications. And let us not act on our impulse. Can we move on to another question?
Yes.
Okay? Sir.
Coach, once again, putting in the situation to congratulate you with the last result. Despite the fact that we didn't win, I guess it was very, very, very important. It's been a long while since we last had a point home here, especially against the bigger girls. Looking at the selection, we've just seen three new names. Mohamed Badamossi, Mohamed Bai, and Yusuf Bob have been coming, but for the first time we are inviting. Is it a matter of rewarding some of the players that you work along with within a short period of time? And secondly, are you looking forward to build a group based on these players, or are you still open up to adding up some few new names if necessary?
Yeah, first of all, I see four new names: Mbai, Badamossi, Ali Sowe, and Yusuf Bob, but doesn't matter. Yes, I think you have to understand a little bit the role of a national team coach. We have very limited time with our players together. Before the Togo match, we will have 3 days. We will train one time on Tuesday, a short training session because players will be tired of a 6-hour flight. We will have a training session on Thursday, on Wednesday, and one on Thursday. So as a coach, you don't have much time to introduce strategies, tactics, standard situations. If you change the whole team, you have to start from scratch. We have to understand that we played against Algeria. Sure, we wanted to win, but the draw against the big favorite in our group was a decent result. The performance was good. We could have won because also Moussa Barrow had some opportunities second half. Lamin Jallo, a ball in the net, in the side net in the second half. So with a little bit luck, would not have been deserved, but we could have won the game. Now we go to Togo. Our ambition is clear. We would like to try at least to get 4 points against Togo, home and away in these games. We want to implement some of the players depending on the strategy needed in the first and the second game. That's the reason we called up players. We had some players who are dropped. I think about Tijan Jaite, who is struggling with an injury, who is not available. So we had to call some new names up, like Yusuf Abob, who is replacing Tijan Jaite on that position. But we don't want to change the whole group because of, first of all, we want to reward the players who played well against Algeria, who played in a discipline and organization, but who also were working very organized and disciplined in the whole week in camp. I think it would be unfair to drop them after a good performance. And second thing is, these players start already with a plus. They know me as a coach, they know my ideas tactically, they know my ideas in a camp, in the organization, everything. So they have an advantage. It shows that we implement new players, and I think you can expect every national team match some new guys, but never more than 5. I mean, from the 20, we want to have a base where we work on. Sometimes we will implement 1 new player, sometimes it will be 4 like today. But it depends on the situation, it depends on availability, and it depends on the chosen tactic. Now we are 2 games, so we have to plan a little bit ahead with the 2 games. But it doesn't matter. It can be that in the future, a player who was never on this list, the players mentioned earlier by your colleague, they can still be called up. I have no problems with any player of Gambia. We have no conflict as technical team with any of the Gambian players playing in Gambia, playing abroad. So every Gambian must be ready to be called up in the future. But now we choose to build further on the selection we had against Algeria and add a few players where we thought it was needed.
The last time you called up on the team, we have 3 or 4 players that never came up due to some personal reasons. Others, just mentioned, Hamza decided to withdraw. This time around, all these 21 players, how sure are you that all of them would turn up?
In life you are never sure, but we have frequent communication with them. And till now, because the players know this invitation already 2 weeks, till now none of the players mentioned that he was not available. We know that there are still games. Tonight FC Zurich is playing. We are looking forward if Hassan Cisse, who scored last week Thursday a goal but got injured and couldn't play on Sunday. So we are looking forward, hopefully he can make some game time. But in football it's always realistic that till Sunday the last whistle is blown in any game, that any of our players get an injury and is not available. And then we as technical team have to react on that. But in theory this will be the group of players we go to Togo. But in football you never know naturally 100% sure. But no one mentioned unavailability for private reasons or for injuries at this moment of time.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, of course.
Yes, my name is Usman Mane from GRS. You made mention of you targeting 4 points in both legs. And we've seen that you call up more strikers than the Algeria game. What will be your approach in Togo? Are you expecting to see the team exposed up front?
It's a good and difficult question. Togo is a good opponent. Togo expects also at least 4 points against us. That must be clear. And they have the likes of Adebayor, Mlapa, Dosevi, Floyd Ayide. If you know the squad from them, they have a very strong squad. So it won't be easy. But I have full confidence in my players that we can score goals also away, and that we have the quality of players to score these goals. I don't gonna tell too much about the approach, because also Claude Leroy and the Togolese people are getting this information. But it is clear that I saw some journalists, I don't know who, wrote 2 weeks ago an article from, hey, it was a very positive article, I don't want to attack the journalist, it was a very good article, but he mentioned that we have to be in the top 3 best second places to qualify. And that's not correct. We have to be second, and we are qualified. For the first time in history, number 1 and 2 qualify directly, because 24 countries will go to the AFCON in 2019. So we have to calculate a little bit. And so we will not hesitate if we can win in Togo, but if we can come home with a point, we will be also satisfied and try to win at home. We know that they also play, Benin play Algeria, so one of these teams will drop points, and later Togo will meet Benin again. So we have to calculate, and we think if we can get 4 points against Togo, let's say a draw in Togo and a win at home, we are on the right track to be able to qualify. How we're going to do it, we will decide that with our technical team and with our players together. But it's sure that when we play away, that we possibly play more conservative than when we play home. It's up to Togo, the home team, to make the game. They have the pressure. They need to win at home. If we come back with a point, we can celebrate. They need to win at home. So they are the favorite for the home match. We are the favorite for our home match, but let's try to get some points there. It's sure we selected 4 strikers. Why we selected more strikers than the first game? Algeria is, I think, the big favorite of our group. Now we selected also 4 strikers because we played 2 games. We calculate that we know Hassan Cissé and Moussa Barrow, their impact and their performance against Algeria. We are convinced about them. We also have now the advantage that Ali Sowe, he is, by the way, the best scoring striker in 2018 of our country. He scored 16 goals in 2018, both for Skanderberg and now for CSKA Sofia. So it's good that he is back in playing terms and fit. And Baramossi is there because he's a total different type. He's a very tall target man, and we will see if it's needed in one of the 2 games to use him. So it's not that we're going to play with 4 strikers in Togo. Everything is possible. Let Claude Leroy believe it's possible, but it's not the idea. We selected many strikers because we want to have alternatives for the 2 games.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
A question before we wrap up?
Claude Leroy is one of the old gurus, one of the oldest dinosaurs in African football. He paved the way for many of European coaches to come to Africa. How is it going to be like to face him tactically and as a person that maybe most of you knew and look up to coming to Africa?
Yeah, I'm not really looking up to Claude Leroy, to be honest. So.
But how is it going to be like facing him tactically?
Oh, I love to face every coach tactically. It doesn't matter if Jean-Paul Aballo, the assistant coach, would be the head coach. I was in Togo, coach, do you know that? So for me, I respect every coach, but I don't look up to any coach in the world. I am working with top coaches around me, and we are there to work for Gambia. We don't look up to anyone in the world, so we are not looking forward or we are not afraid of anyone. We prepare ourselves and we try to beat. Doesn't matter who is the coach of the opponent.
Mentally, deep down in you, do you have any kind of resentment going back to Togo, looking at the way that you left, or have some old scores to settle there?
I have a lot of friends in Togo. The last days I got so many messages of players from Togo, players who are selected in the squad of Togo who contact me, staff members of Togo who contact me, people in the government who contact me, federation members who contact me. I have to say that I got, and it's maybe nice to know, I got the list of Togo selection before the media in Togo got it. So I got it straight away, the list from Togo. So I have a lot of friends in Togo who like to help us to get a good result against Togo. So.
All right, Coach. Thank you. That was the.
I have the last question. If I am.
No, we will now give chance to.
No, he can ask also. I don't.
No, that's a hand.
That the both can ask a question. I like both.
Coach, you sound very confident, and the Gambia if you look at our results in recent years, and when we play away, you know, except for the last qualification we drew against South Africa, you know, we struggle every time we play away.
I like your comment. Do you know when? There may be a question, but you don't like that I ask questions on journalists. A question. Do you know how many times Gambia won a qualification game away? No. I know it. We checked it. He was checking till 2000, and he said, Coach, Gambia till 2000 or since 2000 never won a qualification game away. So I felt the need to check everything, and Gambia won one qualification game in history away against Mauritania in 1983. So that's 35 years ago, if I calculate it well. 1983 was the last and the only time Gambia won an away game. So in a qualification match. But that doesn't matter. We are confident. Why we are confident? Because we believe in our players. I think Gambia has a lot of good quality players, the players we selected, but even the players who are not selected. There are so many quality players that we have to believe in ourselves. And Togo has a very good squad. They have a lot of good players. I think I respect Togo very much, and Togo is a team who could qualify for AFCON, but we are the same level as them. We can beat them. They can beat us, but we can beat them. We don't have to look up to them. We are ready for that task. And if our players can come fit next week to the camp, and the availability of this group is there, I'm very confident that we can get a good result in Togo. And hopefully we can write again history. We had already history with the biggest crowd in history here in Gambia. Let's try to write history and get 3 points in Togo. But if we get 1 point, I will be very satisfied. But we are confident because we have a good squad and we believe in our team. Yes.
Going to Togo, playing against Togo inside Togo, and then looking at how tight this international break is, we played on the 12 and the little day will be on the 16. Considering the fact that African traveling is always hectic, are you satisfied with the arrangement that is made for you by the Federation? Playing in Togo, you're going very early, going in night. When are you back in Bangui to prepare extra and have advantage in your home?
I have to say that I'm very satisfied with the Federation. We planned things long in advance. Usman Drame, the administrative team manager or something like that, I have to call him, together with the rest of the people of the board and naturally Mataram Borj, my assistant coach. We were already a month ago, a day after the Algeria game, planning this game. And the opportunities of flying. We know it's quite limited when you are in this country to get to Togo. You can go to Morocco and fly from there, or you can go straight with a Sky where you have some stops, a 6-hour flight, or about 6-hour flight to Togo. We balanced everything, the pros and cons from every opportunity to fly, and we decided to go straight from here via Freetown, Accra to Togo. It's about 5 hours, 40 minutes flight. It's a long trip, but we fly during the day hours. We arrive at around lunchtime in Togo, so we arrive also 3 days before the game. We have time to recover, to get our rest and our rhythm back. We have time to train there, so I'm very satisfied with that planning. Coming back, we leave in Togo around noon on Saturday, so we can have a normal breakfast and a normal night. In Togo, it's quite important after an important game there. We can recover during the night. We can have even a pool session with the physical coach to recover in Togo. Fly back around noon and arrive here 6 o'clock in the evening on Saturday. So players have again a normal ride, can have a good recovery with the medical team, can have treatment, and then from Sunday and Monday we can focus fully on the game. So as a coach, I have to say thank you very much, GFF, to all the people who are involved in that. The planning can't be better. Only when we have a private plane it would be better, but for the rest I'm very satisfied as a coach with this planning. I think it's the best planning we could get. Yeah.
I want to bring this session to a close.
One question more.
That's the final question.
I have time.
Just like you have said, you left Togo on a good mood, and now you have a whistleblower in Togo. How vital is that information? How is it going to help you?
From the squad of Togo, because I was counting only 10 players I worked with. 10 players I worked with, and there are 2 or 3 players who from other players who I tried to get in the team. They have players who played for other national teams. They have Peniel Mlapa, who played for Germany, 31 games in the under-21 and the under-19 squad, who played for Hoffenheim, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Nuremberg, Bochum, and now in Venlo. I went to Germany to meet him together with Ilyas Bebu to convince them to play for the country. And also Gil Senu, who played for Arsenal and who is now playing in Turkey, is one of the players I wanted to get. But apart from 10 players I worked with, so I know them quite well. And I'm also close in touch with them. On the other side, there's a new coach with a new tactical approach. And sure, they will be also eager to beat me. I can't imagine that the team, nor the technical team, is not motivated to win against the Gambia and against me. So both teams will be sharp for this game. It can be an advantage, but they know me also, so they will have also an advantage in that. After the game, we will say who had the biggest advantage.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
So that is the end of the session.
If anyone wants a private television or something, I'm available.
Yeah. He said he's available if you want to have him in the corridors for one-on-one interviews. He's ever ready. Thank you as well.
You're welcome.
Oh, let's close the session with the prayers. Yes.
Okay.
All the best.
Thank you very much.
All the best.